What's good, my guys? Design Syndrome here, and let's just jump into the Discord, take a look at the pieces. I'm not gonna do everything till the last trim that we did, but just go over them and see if there's any like recurrent thing that pops into my interest that I feel like should comment on. But overall, from what I've been seeing, you've all improved a lot, so that's good. Here's the pieces from the feedback channel. So nice here to see all the pieces, the 30 pieces of the challenge. Here also the Romy one. For this one to put the words, it's cool for the challenge wise, but you didn't need to put the words, I feel. It retracts from the design, like just the shapes, that would have been really awesome. And also a notch down in the texture side, that would have been cool also, because the texture is too aggressive, I feel. And also the contrast is not right for the typography. You can see it's getting sort of lost here and there. I would take out the words, but the concept is cool, how you go like through all the emotions, and I like that it's not linear, like there is a lot of convoluted, like the journey you go through. I really like it. With this poster, I feel like this one is way better. These colors here I don't love on the top and the bottom, but I like the idea of the piece. That is what's important. Really like it. Forgot to get this one posted, but after a rewatch of Apocalypto and pulling screens from it, came up with this one. A main star almost played an incredible character, and it was to Maya and Aztecs. Okay, really cool piece. I like the rhythm and the contrast, of course. I feel like the rhythm is too monotone, you know what I mean? Like, almost, I like this hierarchy, but I feel like this part and this part are too the same, like the bottom and the top and the bottom part, you know? The rhythm of the pieces is too much the same. It would have been cool maybe to make this entire, the one at the bottom, to make it an entire strip, maybe a bit bolder. Well, I guess you did that here also. Yeah, I like it. I would have maybe played with some empty space to play a bit with the negative space a bit more, but I get it. It's also a design decision. I like it. It's cool. Oh, this one I saw that really caught my eye. I really like this one. Here, for this kind of style of poster, when you have all this space, you see the blank space in the text, in the body of text, sorry. That's called reverse, and it's very jarring to the eye. The text is not well justified. You should maybe check that. I know I use it sometimes, but on purpose in a different kind of piece. But when you're making stuff like this, that is more like editorial, it's important that when you squint your eyes, for example, you don't see gaps within the gray of the text, right? Besides the gaps on the text, I really like how you make the composition and the text and the grid that is sort of off here, because you set it up here with these three, and then this one is kind of offsetted, and then these two go in the middle. Like, it's not following like any grid, I feel, but it looks cool regardless. I don't know, I like it. I would maybe have played in making some parts in the body of text a bit bolder or larger text to make another level of hierarchy within the text itself. But yeah, I like it. And I also love the hero image like at the bottom, and the effect, really cool. Here, where is my mind? This one I like the chaos and I like the fury that it has, but if you're gonna do something like this, make it even more fucked up, you know what I mean? Like, make it really distressed. You can't even see there is a body there, right? Like, give it so much fury. It's because where is my mind and the convoluted thing around his head, I feel it's very literal. Maybe you can give it a spin to it, I don't know, but the effects are cool. I give you that it's pretty cool. It's cool as an image, but I feel like where is my mind at the top is too evocative of a thing to make it that literal, you know what I mean? If you go and watch the previous feedback rounds that we did in the first one, we talked about that a lot, which is not to say that it's bad or good, you know what I mean? I'm just saying something to kickstart you in the next step that you would take to make something like more conceptual, let's say. Here, stare, the same, the eyes, it's quite literal, but the composition, it's cool. I like it. Maybe if you could make more hierarchy within the eyes, that would be awesome also, because the weight is too much here, and also the contrast. If you squint your eyes, you can see like this eye, has too much contrast, and it's taking too much of the attention, and it's not really being directed anywhere. It's just floating here in comparison to the other eyes. You see, super simple, but it says it right there, and you can see it in the design. He made the piece still. He sat down. Cool graphic design, you know what I mean? Oh, this one I saw and I really liked it, but I feel the composition, I don't know, I kind of like it now, because I feel like this to the cut, to bring this to the edge, to the absolute edge. Maybe if you had the entire turtle in the middle, and maybe with some foliage here, I don't know, I feel like the piece goes too much to the right, to the left, but then you balance balance it out with yourself and then remember the text at the bottom. Yeah, I think it's okay now. If we cut this out, nah, it's okay. Yeah, I like it. I like the texture also. Here, too much of the text is getting lost in the texture, I feel. I like the concept movie poster. Almost fine, almost here, almost together, almost done. Yeah, I like this one because it's simple, but it's like it's trying to say something with this composition in the place that is put together, you know? So that I like. Really simple composition and really simple gesture that's communicating something, you know? I like the concept of missed opportunity. I don't know about the execution of this. What were you trying to say? I guess it's interesting and it's maybe there is something here, but I don't know about the typography combination and also the placement overall of the elements. I wanted to make all the elements seem like they were moving. Ingredient, the lower parts is moving from left to right and the star missing the hole. Yeah, no, I don't see it, my guy. I don't even understand what you try to do here. The lower part moving from left to right, so this part. Oh, like the star should have fallen here, but it's moving. Okay, yeah, it's interesting concept, but I don't know. You could have animated this slightly in Photoshop, but yeah, not super. I don't even know the hierarchy. Also, it's kind of funny and not really well executed, I feel, because also this is taking me away from the fact that this is sort of moving. Like maybe if the composition were a bit more vertical and this was falling. I'm gonna try to do it in Photoshop. Let's see if we do this. Like this. I'm gonna kill the colors. Let's put it sort of in the middle. And actually, let's see what happens if we... Now that it's sort of more vertical, right? So it's the composition, it's sort of vertical. Now you have this that's perfectly linear and it's almost look like it's almost bothering you that this is not also in the middle, right? So there you have something like missed, like it's missing something, right? This thing you feel like almost should be in the middle and that is off to the side. It's making it sort of against the composition. So there you have something that is sort of having this missed opportunity like concept, or at least it starts to trying to communicate something like this, because before you had this composition like very asymmetrical. So if everything is asymmetrical, I'm not seeing really the misalignment or the miss opportunity, you know what I mean? So even like this, let's just say, I'm gonna do it super quick, something like this. Blur, motion blur, let's give it 90 degrees, like so, make it like so, like this, and now this motion blur, let's give it 0 degrees. The typography, my guy, try to go for things that go a bit better together, you know, like if it's the same phrase, try to go for the same type, or if you're gonna use different types, make them like contrasting and complementary, you know, because here it's not the same font. I can see that, but it's not that different that would make sense to use it, you know. You have something like this. I'm gonna make it smart layer, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, something like this. One of the textures. This is the effect that I always use, guys. Something like this. And then on top of this, we're gonna drop a levels. Something like this, I feel it works better, or at least it seems more intentional, you know, but I like that you tried to go for something really, really hard. Try to make like a really clear decision, right? To make things really linear and then one thing, it's off center, breaking the composition, and through those tools, you try to say something about the piece, you know. I don't even know if this is perfect or if this is even good, you know, but I'm trying to let you know about the process of thinking that goes into like, okay, how do I communicate anything, you know? Still showing up to the shop prompt, mindfulness. It's really difficult for me to finish something in 30 minutes. I have like 3 scraped posters. First version is very minimal. Second version giving more pronunciation into the spotlight effect, mindfulness, and our senses. I like this. It's very literal again. I like, but it looks more like an infographic, my guy. You know what I mean? You know what I like? The eye and the spotlight thing looks like a keyhole, you know? And by that definition, you can start to make something, right? You unlock something by the fact of of being mindful, you know. There you have something cool to make a really cool poster, you know. Maybe you make the eye so, and then you make like a really iconic key, you know. Oh, it's part of it. Here my guy is saying the keyhole was definitely part of it. Okay, but it's not looking intentional enough, because I feel like I've just discovered it. It's okay. Let me see the one. Maybe if it had some text. Okay, but let's say if you had this eye right here and then you had like a cool text. I don't know. I'm not very good at, how is it called? At copywriting, you know. That's a skill that I encourage you to take a look into and try to write and come up with cool thing for the poster, because it's really hard to rely. You can see a cool poster with cool effects and cool anything, right? And make you go, oh, that's a cool poster. But you can have a much simpler poster with a nice message and a cool graphic that makes you go, whoa, that's really cool, you know. For example, this with something that had to do with this thing of looking inside and finding the key. The eye in something like the key, look for the key within, or something like this, you know. And then you will have a piece a bit more closed. Or maybe this is on a door, you know, or something like this. I don't know, but it's something to play. It's really cool. I really like it. This one I like. I feel it's falling here. I need something here to balance the piece out at the bottom. I didn't post yesterday because I was lazy as fuck. The as fuck could be like very crossed, you know. Yeah, I feel like the composition, it's too up here and it's missing something at the bottom. This one is really cool. Black, what does it say? I don't even understand, but looks cool. I really like how he took very different type characters and made them work like within the chaos itself. It has nice contrast, the shapes. I like this one. You could pull this shit maybe a bit better, but it's okay. It's a nice search, let's say. This one's from Romy. I love this. This is super cool. Solid nature. Like a system of pieces. You should make print of this. You have something here. It's really unique. Really cool. Like this. The earth one is really cool. Pt.3 core. Cool composition. Classic. This is maybe too overdone, you know, like the big hero image with the text at the side. We've all done this. If you're gonna do this, bring the detail level to fucking crazy, you know, and make a lot of different hierarchy levels and make it really intricate. But yeah, it's perfectly executed, I feel. Drink water. I really like this one. Looks cool for a print, for a wall, like a big print. I really like it. This is from a YouTube video. Kiki Booba effect was discovered after a series of experiments. Yeah, you can infer meaning through the sound and how things look. This is overall graphic design and character design and all of that. They use this a lot in animation movies, Disney, all of that stuff. Like to convey intention and emotion through the shapes of stuff. I really like the effect on this one. Super cool. I really like this, the texture and the composition on this one. Really clean, really dope. It's kind of falling to the bottom. You see, it's sort of like the other one, the lazy as fuck poster, but this one is far more delicate. The piece is breathing a lot more, so it can take the big air at the top, right? Maybe it could have something here, or maybe in the middle. Always you need to look at the grids that are forming for the piece, you know, in this box, here, also where you have all of these directions, and you can start to tie the piece together, like placing the elements in a way that corresponds to each other, you know. Here I haven't seen this one. It's really cool. I like this poster mock-ups. I guess the eye with the stare is really literal. Maybe you find something here, your style, or a place to start looking deeper, but you have something here. This one's really cool that he made, like one with a conversation between him and ChatGPT. The momentum one. I really like this one. Really unique. It's really cool. The negative shape you did here with the text and everything. It's really cool. Mine's full of shit and pretty literal. I don't know. It's getting too... It's not separated against the background. It's getting a bit like moodled, or how do you say it? Pretty busy here, the design. Like maybe with a white outline or a posterized effect, you can separate it a bit better. Oh, this other that I made. I remember this day I wasn't feeling like doing anything. I did this at the last second and it turned out great. I really like this poster. Also, what I really liked about this poster is the idea of the machine, the city chews you up. I was in New York a couple of weeks back and the city eats you up for sure, and you can see it in the people that lives there, you know. It's not that literal, but I get it's really cool concept. Here also, my guy, you are trying to convey two difficult ideas, and I don't think you are hitting the spot. I like what you're trying to say, but I feel like that you are missing it for lack of practice. Try to convey simpler ideas first, and as you gain vocabulary, like graphic vocabulary, to start to tell these ideas, then start to tackle this. I don't know how I would tell this, but I get what you're trying to say, right? I like the typography that you use. If even nature has a pattern, then everything is artificial. If even nature has a pattern, then everything is artificial. Like, what are you trying to say there? Because it has a pattern that repeats, then it must have been made by someone, right? Okay, for I am imagining if you had a machine, imagine you had sort of machine that is producing all these golden ratios, like in a production line style, you know, or something like this. And then I'm not sure, I should maybe see it done or something like that. I like the idea of the golden ratio, but it's kind of not there yet. But I like the concept. This is cool, a feeling. This is the one that I made. You can see machine there, right? And it's not overly explicit, but it creates a reaction in you. You know what I mean? It makes you go like, or makes you have an instant visceral reaction to it. This is really hard to explain also. You have to have a lot of sensitivity to make the stuff and make the contrasting things like work with each other. Really like it. Okay, this dude is amazing. It's Jake. He does consistently good work. Bro kills the compositions. Super cool. He's really tidy. He manages the empty space really well. I like the texture. Yeah, really like it. Hey Josh, again. Make virtue of necessity. Improvement. This one is far better, I give you that. This one I can see the idea. It could be like vision, but if you invert it, it could also mean improvement. I like it. I like the idea. I don't like the how you handle the typography, maybe the hierarchy levels, but I mean the idea. The idea, it's cool. The compositional idea of the graphic way you find to tell this, I like it. Wow, these ones are cool. This one is the flaneur one. Really went for a journal. Design play here, large, medium, small. Really like it. Super different. I get like the traveling feeling from it, from the journal thing. I love it. Crossfade. Really loving this. I've seen this before. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen this before, but I like for the concept. Child geometry. I don't know how it directly links, but I feel like there's something there. It makes me go imbalanced. Super imbalanced. It's good, basic design theory, but again, this guy knows what he's doing. Eudaimonia, this one's really cool. I like it. Permanent glue did one really similar to this. I like this one. Like, the composition is really powerful. Oh, this one is cool. It's pretty raw, but it has like a nice I don't know what, you know. Where can I find trendy design ideas? Pinterest. Also Instagram, the algorithm will feed you the things that you most likely to consume. I don't know what I think about seeking out like trendy stuff. You should get nurtured by the things that you naturally, some of them will be trending at the moment, some will not, right? But I wouldn't advise like go chasing the trendy thing, you know? Don't close yourself to new stuff, but don't go looking for stuff just that is trendy, you know, because if you're looking for the trendy thing, I can assume it by the question itself that you're looking for outside validation, you know. If you're going for the trendy thing, it's because you like to make stuff that is trending, because you'd like to have the recognition of your peers. And I don't think there is nothing particularly wrong about that, because we are social beings, we need that social recognition, but don't make it paramount to your development as an artist. First, develop who you are and develop your own vision, and you'll do that by trying to replicate and trying to feed and trying to nurture the parts of you that want to make art and that will feel attracted to certain things, and go after those things, right? Then the validation comes later. Don't go seeking after it before time, you know, even if there's anywhere a time to go looking for that validation. Hope it makes sense. Just create more, but create with an idea of what you want to make. Try to, if you look at 8 pieces, right, for inspiration, try to look at them once and then design, but by just recalling. Don't go designing and looking at the references one time after the other. Just take a quick glance of a bunch of pieces and then try to remember the feeling of those pieces and try to see how you resolve in your own terms, you know. But yeah, guys, challenge was amazing. Thank you so much for being a part of the project. But please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, go to the site, download all the freebies. If you feel like supporting, you can get one of the paid asset packs. So yeah, my guys, that's it. You already know how it is. Fuck peace. Wish you conflict. See you on the next one. Shit.